Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, to my very first makeup look. I hope you guys enjoy. So today I'm heading to work and it is Valentine's Day, so I'm trying to do something fun and flirty just to celebrate the day since I can't see my boyfriend. But I'm going to start with my Clinique moisturizer. You just saw it in the yellow bottle. It is great to start with moisturizer before your makeup look. That way your skin is prepped and ready to start applying all of this makeup. Here I'm going to grab my Pore Professional by Benefit primer. I'm going to put a little bit on my hand and then I'm going to rub that into my T-zone. So you'll see it's going to go on my nose, under my eyes, and my forehead first. I want the most application there. Those are my high contact areas, so I want them covered the most. Whatever is left, I'm going to kind of rub around everywhere else, making sure I have a sheer to a good amount of coverage all over my face. That way I have that sticky base to start with my foundation, which happens to be the Fenty Beauty foundation. I am in shade 120. I love this because it is sheer and it's buildable. So if you want like a no makeup look, this is a good one. Here I've grabbed a wet beauty sponge. It is damp, it's not soaking wet, and I am picking up that foundation from the back of my hand. I'm going to apply that all over my face. This is kind of a long process, so eventually I'm going to fast forward through all of this so you're not watching me hammer a sponge into my face for 5 minutes. But the reason it's wet is it just kind of helps blend that foundation in with your primer a whole lot better. I used to use a brush, and after I switched to the wet sponge, it is a game changer. So I'm going to finish that up and then I'll get to talking about the rest of this. Alright, now that I've finished that up, I'm going to grab my concealer next. I just bought this NYX concealer that you'll see in a moment. It is pretty good for a drugstore foundation. I bought this at Target. It's not a full coverage, but it is giving me that lighter foundation color underneath my eyes to brighten up my face. So I'm calling that one a win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it underneath my eyes. I know some people do like a triangle underneath their eyes, some do a circle. I have nothing specific I do here. I just do whatever feels good for the day. Nothing too wild. But under my eyes, I'll also put it on my nose, my forehead, above my Cupid's bow, and my chin. And then I'm going to take that wet beauty sponge again and just dab at my face, blending that all in with my foundation underneath the primer and the moisturizer. Here I'm grabbing my Airspun loose setting powder. This is from Walmart. It's like $5 and I love it. I put a little bit in the cap and I grab again that wet beauty sponge and I'm going to bake my under eye. So I'm going to dab that on my under eye area where I've put that concealer. I really want this part of my face to, in words, stay, if you know what I mean. I don't want it rubbing off throughout the day. I don't want it breaking up. And setting powder is really going to help keep everything together. Kind of like primer, it's another insurance policy to keep my makeup from, getting flaky, smearing, smudging. And concealer under your eyes, like mine will set into the wrinkles under my eyes. Hashtag college probs. But I don't want that to happen. So this setting powder is really going to help me. I'm also going to dab it a little bit of everywhere. I try to avoid putting massive amounts on the rest of my face because that will dry me out. I am a combination skin, and that is not an area I want a lot of powder. Next, I am giving my well-loved Jaclyn Hill some use today. This palette has been with me since it came out, and you can see she's been loved. So first, I'm going to start off with that top shade, that top row. I am grabbing the third from the left. It is a nice, neutral, light brown. I'm also using this very light, fluffy brush. Okay, so I'm going to grab that color I just talked about, and it is going in the crease of my eye and a little more upwards. I'm also using those windshield wiper motions, just back and forth applying that color. Alright, so I'm going to grab that palette again, and that third shade I use, I'm going to pop over to the fourth. It's a good transition. They're not too, of a contrast color, and I'm just going to take that a little bit lower than where I was initially applying that lighter shade. A little lower on the crease line and about on my eyelid. I'm just dragging that color down, making a transition there, and then I'm going to start packing on some other colors after. Alright, so I'm going to pick my palette back up, and I'm grabbing the third shade in the second row. It is very close to the other transition colors I've been using, and it's just another shade deeper. I'm applying this to the outer corner and closer to my lash line. So in a sense, we have those 3 levels of transitions. The whole point is for you not to really notice it, and it's going to make my eye look a little more cohesive here. So here I'm going to grab a short, dense brush. It's just what I'm going to use to blend everything out. I am big on blending. I don't like harsh lines. Miss Jaclyn Hill herself has taught me that. No harsh lines, my friends. Grab that blending brush, put it to use. So I'm going to dab into this third row, second to last color. It's a much warmer brown than what I've been using. And I'm going to apply this to the outer corners. And a side note, initially I applied a very light amount to my right eye, your guys' left right now. And on the second eye, you can see I put a lot more on. That was accidental. So I'm going back and forth between both and just trying to even it out. I'm going to grab that blending brush again and even out all those harsh lines because I don't want you to see where one color ends and another starts. I want it all blended together. So I'm ready to move into the darkest shade of this look, but I realized I don't want to use this brush anymore. I want a more finer tip brush because I want it to be a little more precise in where I'm putting it. I'm grabbing that third shade from the last on the bottom row. I know I'm kind of shuffling the palette around here, so I'm trying to give you guys the best direction. But on that more pointed tip brush, I'm going very, very close to the lash line. Again, I didn't get as much product as I wanted here, I don't really know what's going on. But anyway, I just pick up more, pack it on. And then you see me tap my brush on my hand. That's so I don't have a whole bunch of loose powder on my brush that's going to fall onto my under eye area or my cheek and potentially cause like coloring problems. I don't want brown under my eyes, so I'm just trying to keep it clean. I grab that blending brush, I'm hitting those corners again, and I'm just going to try and finish this part up. This is what's really going to give me that smoky blowout-ish look. I don't want anything wild, but I want a little bit to like, oh, okay. So here I'm getting ready for the glitz and the glam because a girl like me cannot go without. This is a flat brush, and I'm grabbing my setting powder. I'm going to spray it. I'm going to get that brush wet, and then I'm going to dip it into my glitter eyeshadow. It's this first one in the third row. By hitting it with that setting spray, it is going to stick to my eyelid and have such better pigment. I promise by this. I swear by this. So here I am, tapping it on. I should have done like with and without to show you guys what I mean. But trust me when I say hit that brush with some setting powder and it's going to look 10 times better. And I'm just going to pack it on here, there, and everywhere because I love glitter. So here I'm trying to make a decision. I'm noticing that I'm not having as much of a smoky look as I want. I want my outer corner a little darker. So I pick up that fluffy brush. I wasn't liking the way the pointed brush was applying it. And I grab that third from the last in the bottom row and I'm applying that again because I want more of the blown out look here. I was kind of losing that effect after I applied my glitter. But we're just going to hit it again. And then of course after I do that I'm going to blend it back out. And I know a lot of people who do makeup tutorials edit out the stuff that went wrong, but I'm not going to. I decided after I'm done blending that my glitter didn't look the way I wanted it either. So what you can do is literally just grab your finger and dab that on, and you will see the difference between my two eyes and just how much better that was applying. Brushes will always soak up some of your product, be it a sponge, a brush, an applicator, whatever. Your finger is going to work really good for packing that on, better than what my brush was doing for me. I'm much more satisfied here. Now we're into my fun part, the face. I just grabbed my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, smells like heaven. I grabbed my fluffy bronzing brush and I'm just going to hit under my cheekbones. I'm giving myself a bronze look, not so much a contour. I don't want to do a contour today because like I said, I am working. I'm going to be busy, I'm going to be sweating. Too much makeup will make a mess for me. So again, I'm hitting that corner. It's basically a line from the top of my cheekbone down to the corner of my mouth. After I do that, I'm going to do up above, like all around, and then I'm also going to hit my forehead. The reason I do that is I don't want these dark cheeks and then this blinding white forehead. I personally think I have a large forehead, so I don't want that to be my standing out facial feature, especially if I put so much work into my eye look. I don't want somebody staring at my forehead. After that's said and done, I am moving on to blush. My favorite all-time blush is the Milani Luminoso blush. Bam, here she is. I have been using this blush for I don't even know how long, It's just a nice warm pink. It's not too pale. It's not too overbearing pink where I look like a clown when I'm done. It just goes very well with that Physicians Formula butter bronzer too. I think the pairing is really nice. So I've picked up my blush brush. It's nothing fancy. I'm just dabbing that right on my cheekbones. Not so much the highest point, but more of the lower apples of my cheek. I'm just going to apply that until I feel like I have done a good job. You are welcome to wear as much blush as you want. You can skip this step. I know people who personally don't wear any blush. That is all on you. Next, we're moving on to another holy grail, and of course it's a Jaclyn Hill product. This is her highlighting palette that came out in like 2016 maybe. It's probably at a point where its shelf life is over and I should throw it away, but it's not going to happen, no. I actually hit pan on Champagne Pop, which is the pink color I'm using here, and yeah, it was a sad day. But I'm going to dab into Champagne Pop, that's the pink one, and then this more golden one is Prosecco Pop. Both of them are beautiful by themselves, but I am a highlighting fanatic, so I'm grabbing both. I'm going to put that on the utmost top of my cheekbones. Just blending it in. I like a blinding highlight. I really do. So aside from putting that on both my cheekbones, and you can just see right on the top of my cheek, I also put mine on my nose and my Cupid's bow. Like I said, I am a highlighting fanatic. There is nowhere that I wouldn't put highlight, for the most part. So, what I'm about to do here is apply the highlight to the inner corner of my eye. I decide the brush is too big, so I'm going to dab with my fingers again because it's a great applicator. And I'm putting it in the corners of my eyes because I want a brighter look. I am a college girl, I am a girl who works until midnight, I'm a tired gal. So by doing that, I'm going to look more awake and alert, and yeah. Next, I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Fun fact, I've been scared to death to curl my eyelashes since day one. So I was trying to look at the camera and do this at the same time and just know the amount of anxiety I went through to do this for y'all. I really care about this video and wanted it to be good. So I'm just curling my eyelashes a little bit. I don't wear fake eyelashes. They are my real ones. They're not my fave, but they are God-given, so we're gonna work with them. So I've picked up my Maybelline Rocket Volume mascara. This is my general go-to. It is from the drugstore. It's a good price point, and I like the volume it does add to my lashes. I do have longer lashes, it's just that the tips are blonde, so the black mascara coating really helps show the length of my lashes. There's nothing really fancy about putting mascara on, so I'm going to fast forward through this. If you've done it once, you've done it a million times, am I right? And then a side note, as some of you may be able to tell, I am doing the voiceover for this at a later time. So, the gloss I'm about to pick up to finish my look off is a Kylie Cosmetics gloss. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's the Cupid gloss, but I couldn't find my gloss again at my house to pick it up and double check the name. So, that's what we're going with. This gloss is actually really great. I love it. It's a good price point on her site for a gloss in my opinion. But that is going to finish up my look. After that, I'm going to grab the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. It is absolutely fantastic. I recommend it to anybody. Of all the setting sprays I've tried, this one really makes my makeup last. Like, I'm talking, I can go to sleep in it, which you shouldn't do, but I can go to sleep in it, wake up, and my makeup's still there. And Break Up With Your Girlfriend I'm Bored was playing, so enjoy my little dance routine. So that is it. I wanted to thank you guys for coming to my channel, to my first video, my first makeup look that the world can view. I hope y'all liked it, and I hope to be back next week with something new, something fun. And yeah, that is that. See you guys next time.